Bertie, sit. Go on, sit back in your chair. Sit back, sit back. That's it. Good boy. You may have met Dirty Bertie, my dear Lurcher, who was a gift from travellers. One of my jobs, as you may well know, is a wide load escort driver. We were escorting a mobile home from Maidstone in Kent to the Isle of Sheppey in Kent for a traveller. The winch broke on the lorry. We had to use my 4x4 and his 4x4 to drag this 12-foot mobile home up onto the back of the lorry. So what should have taken 3.5 hours ended up taking 8 or 9. Once we got to Sheerness, I ended up talking to the traveller and mentioned to him, did he know of anyone with any Lurcher pups? And he said, funny you should say that, my whippet has just gone into pup, and because you've done such a good job for me, you can have pick of the litter. And that was Bertie. I called him Bertie because he reminded me some way, I don't know why, of Bertie Bassett's Licorice All Sorts.
Mr. Bassett? Mr. Bertie Bassett? Well, it's not Muffin the Mule, is it?
Hence the name Bertie. Lurchers in general are a traveller's dog. Basically, a Lurcher is a mixture of any other breed but terriers or collies with a sight hound. Sight hounds can be Salukis, deerhound, greyhound, whippet, to name but a few. There's plenty more. And normally they're mixed with a terrier like a Bedlington Terrier or a collie. Bertie's got a particular mix. He's a whippet mum and a collie staffy dad. He's got a really nice gentle temperament of the whippet, but not too timid. But he's got the intelligence and I suppose the tenacity of the staffy. He's quite brave. He's good fun to be with. The size of a Lurcher can vary, but Bertie's sort of medium size, so he's great for going on long car journeys with me. As I say, when I got him, I was driving quite a lot, doing wide loads, and he spent a lot of time in the car with me, and so he travels without a problem. In fact, he's a seasoned traveller. He's been to France with me on occasions too. The history of the Lurcher is quite something as well, because basically you couldn't own a sight hound, i.e. a deerhound, greyhound, any of those hunting dogs that hunt by sight, not necessarily smell, unless you were noble or of money. So what poorer people did, and travellers in particular as well, would be to mix the breed. So mix a greyhound with a collie, so it had the speed, it had the sight hound, it had the hunt, but it didn't quite look like the noble dogs of the upper classes. And I kind of quite like this about the breed of Lurcher. They're kind of a statement against the elite. You know, you don't have to be rich to own one of these. You know, it's very much a poacher's dog. One of the earliest mentions is about 1600s, and it comes from the word to lurk as a thief. So it's kind of like when it was illegal to hunt in the king's land, poachers would go out with their Lurchers and see what they could get. But they do make extremely good family pets because they're very gentle. Some people say they're the closest in temperament to a cat. They sleep a lot, they curl up nicely, they're great fun, very, very affectionate and very calm. Don't do a lot of barking. I can't stand a yappy dog. And Bertie, bless him, he's a great joy to have in the house.
Come on. Bert.
Where you going? And outside, because he loves being out. When I get out with him, he enjoys it immensely. On the beach, in the forest, you name it, Bertie's out there. One of the things I love about Lurchers and sighthounds in general is the way they run. They run more like a horse. They gallop. There's the way they stretch out and curve their back, and they're just general pace. They walk in walk, run, trot in a very different way to other dogs. What I also love about the way Bert runs is that he's like an FX4 taxi, and he turns on a sixpence. I mean, his turning ability and on a run is quite extraordinary. And again, that's down to kind of picking the different elements of different dogs and putting them together, which travellers seem to do so well. One of the things that is great when you're out and you meet another Lurcher owner, because you know that they love to run together. And one of the things Lurchers do, which is greatly misunderstood by other dog owners, is they love to do a thing called mouthing, where they run at the same time trying to bite the other dog's neck. It's kind of like their pretend hunting. And it's great to watch two Lurchers hurtling along the beach, side by side, seeing which one can trip up the other one with its bite. The beautiful thing about having a Lurcher as well is they're a mixed breed, so there's no pedigree going on and none of the illnesses associated. I did have a Lurcher before Bertie, who was a rescue, so I don't know how old she was, and she was incredibly gentle. But I reckon, and the thing is, she was found in a field in Ireland, so no one really knew what breed she was, but I would say she was a deerhound crossed with a greyhound perhaps. And she was incredibly gentle and graceful when she was running, but rather gangly when it came to the sofa. The other thing they call Lurchers is sofa surfers. Yes, they do love their sleep. For those of you that are a little more lazy, shall we say, with their dog walking, a Lurcher is a great option. Bertie, on the other hand, has got a lot of energy because he's got the collie staffy. But most sort of sight hounds, Lurchers, with greyhound, deerhound, they just love to sleep. They run at 60 miles, well, not 60 miles an hour, but they run fast for a brief, explosive time. And then they're just quite happy to go back to bed on the sofa. So the perfect lazy pet. I hope you've enjoyed my little film of Bertie. Do like and subscribe and leave your comments below. Until next time, Philthy Phil signing off.